Excellent. All right. Welcome, everyone. I'm Wingman953. We're playing Halo 3 ODST. So thank you to everyone who donated to ASM in general so far, but also for the incentive. So we're going to be playing on the legendary difficulty. So this is the hardest difficulty of the game, excluding the skull modifiers that are available. So time's going to start when I restart mission. So if we're all good on time, I'll give a countdown for 3, 2, 1, go. So Halo 3 ODST is actually set during the middle of Halo 2. So after the level Metropolis, we got Riget's Carrier, who does a slip space jump in the middle of the city of New Mombasa. And the ODSTs are dropping in to try and catch the carrier and on a secret mission that they've been given from an ONI representative. So ONI is like the secret intelligence arm of the military. But everything goes wrong when the slip space rupture happens inside the city, and we wake up as the rookie after crash landing into the Mombasa streets, waking up in the middle of the night, and we're going to go on a bit of an exploration to try and reunite with our squads. So as we're looking for our teammates, the other members of Alpha 9, we're going to be fighting off the Covenant and trying to uncover what has happened from them. So ODST Run is actually New Game Plus, but we're playing on a bit of a fresh save here. So we'll see what elements we have unlocked. Right now, just going to be dealing with these brutes, and we're going to be seeing a lot of bubble shields throughout this run. They can be a bit of a blessing and a curse. But he's got a brute shot there, which can be kind of scary. So just trying to play safe around the bubble shield. And because we're on the hardest difficulty, we're going to be looking for lots of checkpoints. So we'll go to checkpoint after clearing that first group. And this is one of the clears that I'm most scared of. But so far so good. Using the overcharge, which is a common weapon combination in this game. So people might be familiar with the noob combo in the Halo series. And the ODST variety is using double pistol. So we're using the UNSC automag as well as the Covenant plasma pistol to break the brute shields and take them out swiftly with the automag. So as the rookie here, we're discovering sort of the secrets of the city, including learning about the superintendent AI who controls the city and is actually watching every move and guiding us throughout the city. So we got a bit of an introduction through to the TAC map here, which is a feature of ODST. We actually don't have the radar. We have this TAC map, which we're just going to go through the tutorial on how to use here. So we're just going to click through, and it's just teaching us all the cycles of things to do. Up and down arrows. So we're just seeing about the intel screen, and also featured on this screen is the audio logs. So during the game, we're going to be collecting audio logs throughout Mombasa streets, and this contains a sort of side story that interweaves within the main ODST story, but also unlocks supply caches throughout the Mombasa streets, which we're going to be taking use of. So after collecting 8 audio logs, we unlock the sniper rifles and then the mongoose, and it's the mongoose that we're going to be using to help speed our way through later levels. So a common feature of my stream is going through different quiz questions. I really like asking the chat different things about this game and seeing how many things they know. In fact, we've got a whole variety of quiz questions around the whole Halo franchise. So the first question I'm going to start off with for today is, at the start of Halo 3 ODST, Alpha 9 are deployed from a UNSC frigate, and I'm questioning, the question to have to you is, what is the name of that UNSC frigate? And just before we finish up this level, we're going to empty out our UNSC weapon, and we'll see why I'm doing that after Tare Plaza. So this is our first flashback mission, and again, one of the most challenging ones on Legendary. So we are now playing as Buck, sort of the leader of Alpha 9, and we're going to be making our way through the Tare Plaza, trying to make our way to Dare, one of the other members of the group. We're going to be making a lot of use of the noob combo again, as well as tactical use of grenades.
Trooper, over here!
Checkpoint, always like to see checkpoints on the hardest difficulty, as we're going to make our way through a pack of brutes. Hopefully they don't tear us a new one. Make our way to a health pack. So a difference between the ODSTs and Master Chief, who you typically play as in this series, is the introduction of, reintroduction, I guess, of health packs. Originally in Halo CE, now returning in ODST. Going to be looking for a checkpoint here for this trick, so we're going to use this grenade to displace this box. We'll use this box to displace us down the map, and make our way through all these enemies that are here. So made our way through the street. Now we've got a difficult combat section coming up here. We're going to be trying to make use of a checkpoint to help us stay alive. Again, just picking up a health pack. See if we can check that. These guys are pushed up. It's actually good for me.
Location.
And that's a bit unfortunate. It's right, we got this checkpoint here, so we get to see this launch again. Oops, got launched backwards. And this is the beauty of playing a legendary, lots of challenging combat sections. As we make our way through. So again, looking for a checkpoint here. There's that checkpoint. Marines are distracting enemies. We'll make our way through.
Location.
Almost there. What's wrong?
Multiple hostiles closing on my position.
Ah, it's a bit unfortunate.
Location.
Oh, see Daisy. Keep working our way through this section. Lots of jackal snipers, brute shots, and enemies with a carbine.
Location.
Oh, it's beam rifle shot. I think I've dived to 3 different enemies so far.
Location.
Almost there. What's wrong?
Location.
Almost there. What's wrong?
Multiple hostiles closing on my position.
Alright, there we go. Gonna make our way to a health pack.
If I don't make it,
And we've now got 2 hunters in front of us, which are arguably the strongest enemies in the game.
they spotted me.
We're going to just squeeze past them and make our way through to the ending of the level. So difficult combat section there, but we get a bit of respite on the next mission. Get rid of these last couple grunts, and perfectly out of ammo, but it's alright, we got to the end of the level. And that's Tayari Plaza, so that's one of the more challenging levels, and we're on to Mombasa Streets. So a couple quick ones before we maybe go through some messages. So I emptied out my UNSC weapon at the previous street section, and that's so that we can prevent carryover. So that means I get a fresh loadout here on this street section, and that means new weapons with more ammo. Now I actually don't want this SMG ammo, but I did want the 3 grenades that I've got. So I'm going to use these to go fast throughout this level, and we're going to do this a couple more times. So it's interesting that you have a carryover, not between levels that are back-to-back, but sort of between subsequent street sections. And the other one was asked a question, which was, what is the name of the UNSC frigate that the ODSTs start on at the start of this game? And the name of the frigate is the UNSC Say My Name, which is just a very fun name for the frigate, which they do have a lot of cool, fun names throughout the Halo series. So I'm just going to be spending some time walking through the street section, using these nades to get some boosts. We'll try and hit a cool launch sort of at the end of the street section, but until then, we've got some time for some messages, if there's anything to share.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we've got a $20 donation coming in from Mini Stefan. It says, "Hi Wing, good luck." Thank you very much for that. I'll also take the opportunity to plug a couple of bid wars we've got coming up that you can put your donations towards. Make sure if you do donate to put in the message what you want the money to go to. For the Finding Nemo run coming up tomorrow morning, we've got a choice of which character to use. Currently, Dory is the only one who's had any donations, but if you want Marlin or Nemo to be the choice, then definitely get money in for that. And then we've also got renaming Titus in the Final Fantasy X run tomorrow night. We've currently got a couple of options. We've got John SR with $20, and then a hot topic between Tidus with a TYE-dus and Tidus with $10 each. So yeah, if you've got a strong preference on that, definitely get the money in.
Excellent, thank you for that. So just going to clear out these enemies, we've got a checkpoint here, and we're going to try launch to the next waypoint marker, which is going to take us to the Uplift Reserve, where we're going to be playing as Dutch, and we're going to see his story and how he reunites with the group while he is fighting through the Nature Reserve. So cool little launch here that's common to ODST, is using objects to accelerate us. We'll see how we go. We got a little launch there. So what's kind of common is using objects within the environment to launch us forward and gain some speed and go where we need to go. And the way I sort of think about it is normally there'd be sort of conservation of momentum. So even though we're heavier than, say, a cone, the fact that the cone is traveling so fast, we end up carrying that speed through rather than being stopping a cone. The cone actually pushes us forward, which is a bit counterintuitive, but allows us to get some cool launches. So here we're just going to be making our way to a ghost via a quick warthog drive. Just taking out some of these choppers if we can to make this section safer. And we're going to hope some Marines can jump in our vehicle, because they can help soak up some damage as we go through this next section here.
Watch that chopper! Hit it head on and it'll tear us to pieces!
So we're going to skim past this Wraith and this Ghost, try not to crash into this chopper, and we'll make our way past another Wraith, and that's good. Get to this Ghost, and we're going to spend the rest of this level zooming through on the Ghost. So this level is notorious for being one of the easiest to complete on the lasso difficulty. So that's legendary all skulls on, which is a popular challenge category for the Halo franchise. Because in this level you can grab this Ghost and often skip past a lot of enemies.
What is the objective,
So we're looking for lots of checkpoints here, just in case we get pinged by any of the vehicles that are coming up here. So we should get another checkpoint just around here, and we'll just keep an eye on this chopper, and we should be able to squeeze past okay.
Down near the Covenant LC. Once we clear this enemy armor, we can roll across the bridge to its location. Look, the elevator! Incoming! Man down!
So throughout the Halo franchise, there's lots of variety of different speedrun strategies that we use to go fast. Some which are full game viable, some which are marathon safe, some which are only really done in individual levels. And the games are progressing so much that a lot of the individual level only tricks are sort of then making their way into full games. But I encourage each and everyone to go check out the individual level speedruns so you can see a whole variety of tricks that you might not normally see in the full game runs. Including this level, which features an out of bounds trick, which is quite difficult but quite cool to hit. So that's through Uplift Reserve. So again, that was Dutch's, one of Dutch's two flashback missions. So now we're playing back as the rookie, and we go to discover the next piece of evidence to try and uncover what has happened to our squad. So this is the most difficult street section. We do just have the UNSC weapons, which are are good for taking out some of the fodder enemies, but aren't the best for taking out the brutes, the shielded brutes. And we're going to be running past a few of them and hoping to make our way through to the next mission, which will be only Alpha Site. So for those somewhat familiar with the game, we're actually going to be doing some of these missions out of order. That's because this game is semi-open world, effectively. And after Uplift, you can do sort of any mission between Oni, Kazingo, Kikawani, and MPD in any order. And we deviate slightly from the story order to do a slightly faster route. So the mission Oni Alpha Site is not only the next one that's closest, but it's also near the Mongoose supply cache. And the Mongoose is like a small ATV vehicle that we're going to be using to drive through the streets to dodge enemies and get to our next destination a lot quicker. So just going to be keeping an eye out to see what kind of brute we get. We get a carbine brute, and I've just got to keep an eye out for a jackal sniper that's in this area. Try and headshot this grunt. And this guy as well. Glad that guy didn't shoot at me. Alright, I'll make our way to the next big door here. So ODST is also known for its soundtrack, largely for the tunes that are found on Mombasa streets. So I know there's a lot of Halo fans out there that enjoy just roaming the streets and listening to the tunes and the ambience of roaming the streets. So now we're going to be looking for just a fresh plasma pistol with more ammo, as well as ideally a plasma grenade. So we'll see if these grunts can drop us a plasma grenade. Not yet. There we go. That's excellent. And we're going to make our way through to another challenging section here where we've got a few brutes, a couple invis brutes. So they've got some invisible armor, a sniper jackal, a carbine jackal, and a couple of shielded jackals. So we're also going to be seeing a unit or an enemy type that we've had a glimpse of before, which is the engineers, and they become relevant to the story a bit later on throughout the game. And they provide shields to allies, which in this case are going to be the Covenant troops. So focusing on this Captain Brute here with a brute shot. We managed to get him. Okay, well, I'd like to get that guy. And looking for the carbine guy, who is gone walkabout, should be okay. Getting some frags and some ammo, and we've got some good nades here that should allow us to spawn kill a brute in this next section. We'll see if that carbine guy has alerted these enemies or not. He did in fact alert those enemies, so that's okay. We're not going to be able to get a spawn kill. Oh, I just shot a dead body. Okay, just going to wait for oh, I got ganged up from behind. And I've made a small boo-boo, and I delayed a checkpoint. So unfortunately you only get checkpoints once every 2 minutes. And we were in case 3.5 minutes throughout this level. So I managed to miss one checkpoint, and that reset us back to the start of the level. So we've got a little bit more walking to do. So we'll make our way back. So this might be a good time if there's any other messages from the host, and then I can pick back up from there.
Sure thing, thank you for that. We have had another $15 donation come in from Zonda1996. Says good luck on the run Wingman. I say let's kick cancer in the guts. And that's a good segue into reminding everyone that we are raising money this event for Game on Cancer, which is a charity that funds early career cancer researchers working across all areas of cancer research to make this the last generation to die from cancer. So if you would like to donate, please feel free, go to donate.ausspeedruns.com or click one of the links in the Twitch chat and get your donations in towards that. Also, just say to Wingman, we've had a huge amount of support in the chat for you, so people are enjoying this run. There are lots of enthusiasm.
Excellent, thanks. Appreciate everyone that's stopped by to watch. So again, just looking for this brute here, make sure he doesn't do us any harm. And he's got a brute shot and he's running away. There should be a Jackal Sniper back there, which we're not going to worry about. So, as I mentioned before, quizzes. Always love a good quiz question. So, another question for the chat will be, and for people in the room, is what is the rookie's name? So, we're currently playing as the rookie, and they have a quote-unquote official name. Does anyone know what it is? As, again, I'm just going to hunt through here for some plasminades, while keeping an eye on that Jackal Sniper that's back there. So got lots of plasminades this time and a big plasma pistol, 92 ammo. So we'll tackle this next section again. So if I'm correct, we should get a checkpoint in about 5 seconds, provided I'm not jumping and meleeing. Every 6 minutes we get a checkpoint. We'll see. Maybe not. Loading. Alright, making our way into this section again. Keeping an eye out for this Jackal Sniper. So it's a bit slow in killing his enemies, so I'm just going to have to play it slower. Grab this flame nade. Okay, took out the guy who took us out earlier. Alright, so that's everyone dead except for a shield jackal. Here's this guy. And we can see the engineer exploding over there. So the answer to the question of what is the rookie's name is it's Jonathan Doherty. So it's a bit of a play on the words of the name John Doe. And that's actually a recent addition to the Halo lore. There was an encyclopedia that was released recently with that name. And it's sort of based off the fact that in this game you can sort of click around and you can see on the rookie's model a sort of dog tags that are inscribed with the initials JD, which was sort of an implication that his name was John Doe, or just a placeholder name. And 343 at the time, the developers of Halo, released an encyclopedia and gave him the full name of Jonathan Doherty. So that's our way through the streets, and we're going to make our way onto Oni Alpha site, which is a fun and exciting combat mission where we play as Dutch, who is proficient with the Spartan laser and also gets the opportunity to use sniper rifle and rockets, which are always a lot of fun. So we're just going to be making our way through and arming these charges, as Mickey has instructed us to. And we're just going to be retreating our way through to the Oni building, trying to deter the Covenant assault on the building as best as possible. We're going to be keeping an eye on these Wraith mortar shots.
You don't let us trigger those charges, in about 5 minutes, your data center is going to be crawling with Covenant.
And activating the bridge. So destroying the bridge is going to delay the Covenant's assault on the Oni building. However, we seem to forget they do in fact have Phantoms, which are the flying vehicles which are going to be dropping off lots of troops into the next section. Just got to wait, watch out for this Wraith shot. Get this checkpoint, and we're going to focus on taking out this front, and we're going to spawn kill some hunters, and then look for a cheeky collateral shot using the Spartan laser on the hunters and route that drops in. Managed to miss that shot.
Swapping mags. Headshot.
Alright, so that's that first wave done. So we've got a few more waves of Covenant to deal with throughout this level. juggling weapons in the Halo franchise, pretty common trick. And we're just going to be spawn killing some more enemies
Don't let them near the Audi building.
and making our way inside the Oni building.
Charged and ready. Got him!
Spawn killing with some grenades.
Cover me, I'll scare him out. This is not going to plan. That.
So the section's on a bit of a timer, so we just have to kill as many enemies as we can within a pretty broad window of time. And wait for that dialogue, which we've got, which means the mission is progressing. So now we're just going to grab some resources for the next part of the level.
Fall back! I can beat! Fall back to the top of the ridge!
Grab this turret, which is normally something only Spartans can do, but we get a bit of leeway in this game.
Rockets up.
Being able to rip off machine gun turrets and carry them as an ODST. So as I said, the ODSTs sort of reintroduced the mechanic of health pack system. So our health doesn't recharge. We have stamina instead of shields, but effectively acts the same. And we have a shorter and quicker jump than Master Chief, who's got a bit more of a floaty, more powerful jump. And we got a weaker melee, but we can melee a bit quicker. So the ODSTs actually play a bit differently to Master Chief. So that creates some sort of different combat scenarios than Halo 3.
Check those charges.
Wait, what?
So we're just going to be setting up for a wave fight
what
here.
gives? I thought we were supposed to protect this
Enemies coming
building.
from either side. They can spawn somewhat randomly. So we're just going to be keeping an eye on our attack map to see which side they spawn. And we're going to see if we can control these waves so we can get them to spawn in the order we like and get some spawn kills using the rocket launcher. But we want to preserve at least one rocket to be able to get some more ammo later. We've got right side, which is good. So lots of enemies to deal with. Hopefully we can spawn kill them all. Because if we get overwhelmed on Legendary, it's pretty easy. Okay.
Left side, Dutch.
Back blast.
You're pouring into the left.
Just make sure the jackals are dead. Spawn kill across the map. Nice.
Everyone take a big step back. Running low.
So I did a little trick which is jumping on the seats there, and that sort of blocks the pathing or interrupts the pathing from the enemies to the player. So the suicide grunts there,
Back blast clear.
they sort of running at the player with grenades in hand, and they lose their pathing to the player and they go, well, I can't see the player, I don't know where they are, I'm just going to detonate my grenades and explode on the spot, which can cause a bunch of chain reactions which can get a lot of kills on the couple without actually having to do anything as the player. So spawn killing some enemies here. Going to be sitting on these health packs to try and keep me alive. Using the power weapons as best as I can to take out these enemies.
You see red? Move.
Try to get a bit cheeky there and back out. Needler, fan favorite, weapon from the Halo franchise, and we just got to go back and kill one more brute on this far side.
Charged and ready. Got him!
Alright, that should be the last of them.
That's the last of them, Dutch.
Thanks,
Come
Mickey.
to my position.
So just going to be prepping some ammo for this roof fight. And we managed to keep one rocket with our rocket launcher. And what we're going to do is we're going to give this to our teammate Marine. And with a little love tap. And once we kill this Marine, we get a re-roll on the rocket ammo. So we went from 1 rocket to 4, which is actually back where we started, which we're going to use for the roof fight here. So effectively the ammo count re-rolls to something random. You can get actually up to 5 rockets. And you can also do a trick where you can give your teammate to reload the rocket, and it reloads without consuming any ammo, which happens with actually any weapon. And it's just a handy way of preserving ammo. And it's also just a common feature of Halo speedruns is killing our Marine teammates to try and go fast. So just clearing out these drones as we make our way to the top.
Got him! Changing mags.
Give Mickey back his weapon, we'll take our plasma pistol, and we're going to try and spawn kill this chieftain. So there's a funny little glitch where he can often slide like he's on ice, which will likely happen here, but we'll just see what happens.
Backblast!
Oh, he was obviously stationary. So we've got a good amount of kills here. We'll try and get these through the gap.
Okay, so you actually hurt me.
I get here. Now you die.
Did we get him? Oh, we got him. Nice. And that's the end of Only Alpha Site. So that was a pretty good Only Alpha Site. Challenging level on the legendary difficulty. So making our way through Mombasa streets onto the next flashback mission, which is going to be Kazingo Boulevard, where we play as Mickey, who is our explosives expert. And so far this game's pretty robust. So far we've actually been not doing too many glitches or tricks, but we're going to see our first instance of an out of bounds trick on the next mission, Kazingo Boulevard. So making our way through this tunnel, because we cleared all the enemies, they didn't spawn again. And we've got our goose, which is going to carry over, as we sort of alluded to before, between every street section. And it's going to help us zoom past enemies and make these streets a lot safer and a lot quicker. Just checking for Jackal snipers there, and then we're just going to make our way over this railing. Wheels down. Dodge some enemies on our way to the next flashback mission. So stairs are cool and all, but we're going to see if we can actually just avoid the stairs entirely. And we're going to do 2 grenade jumps and make our way up. First onto this awning, and then onto the platform up top. Hoping to dodge a Jackal sniper and pick up a nade. So Kazingo Boulevard, difficult section to sort of speed through with a ghost. So we're going to be hijacking an enemy ghost and then speeding our way through to a Banshee. Banshee being one of the Covenant's flying vehicles. So spawn killing some enemies here, mainly that brute, and looking for a plasma pistol in particular, but at least a needler as well. So I see a plasma pistol there, and that guy is dawdling. And we'll make our way through, looking to grab one of each. Checkpoints are good, and we're going to make our way through to the ghost. So we're going to use this needler just to take out this one brute that's in this ghost, and we're going to hijack it and drive past a bunch of enemies, hoping to stay alive the whole time. So we're speeding on through. So normally in this level you're taking a tank and clearing out enemies along the way. But instead we're going to be zooming through, trying to keep our stamina up. Grab this beam rifle, which is going to be important later. Zoom past all these turrets. Another ghost. Hit this trigger. Hide in the corner here, looking for a checkpoint. No checkpoint. Should get one here. Nice. And we're going to be setting up for this Banshee grab. So normally you're supposed to just get into an empty vehicle, but in this case the devs didn't want us to actually get into this vehicle. So we have to do what's actually like a frame perfect trick. which is we need to get to the back side of this Banshee. It needs to be the right way up, just like this. Oh, and we got taken out by that brute shot.
Relax, Marine. Wait until they're in the kill zone.
So killing that Marine, and that goes to progress the mission. Faster. Grab this Banshee again. That's a lot better. So frame perfect, which is to buffer the enter vehicle button while taking out the pilot of the Banshee. And that allows us to get into the vehicle for the one frame before the vehicle actually explodes. So the vehicle is actually supposed to explode when you don't have a pilot in it, but we enter it the frame before it can actually explode. So we did a small out of bounds there, which is going over that wall. So we went out of bounds for approximately 2 seconds before instantly going back in bounds, while making sure to hit some triggers along the way. So now we're going to this end fight section in the Banshee, which is fantastic because using the Banshee is quite powerful, but it is a pretty flimsy vehicle. You are a pretty big target, and you can't collect any health packs while you're in the vehicle. So we're just going to be cautious as to where we fly, trying to make sure to dodge the enemies along the way. So I just ate a brute shot to the face. Using the Banshee bomb as effectively as possible. So the section's on a bit of a timer, but we've got plenty of time to kill these enemies while staying alive. And that's them all dead quite ahead of time. We're going to have one more Phantom spawn in, and we're just going to be making sure to try and take out all the turrets on the Phantom so that it can do as little bit to us as possible. So this one's going to hopefully take out the main gun on the Phantom. That's going to take out the side turret. I didn't quite get the main gun, but that's okay. That's alright, missed both Banshee bombs there. Good checkpoint, we can just try again. So it's going to be hiding from the main gun on this Phantom turret, spawn killing the rest of these enemies. Furor Grunt is dead. So you might actually recognize this section as the section just before, which leads to the entrance of Only Alpha Site. So again, this is the flashback mission that's supposed to occur before Only Alpha Site, and we're doing these missions out of order.
Here's the thought. Unless you think humans are not.
So you can see there, as soon as I got out of the vehicle, it exploded because you're not supposed to have that vehicle be enterable. But because we got in, it waits till we get out before it explodes. So that's Kazingo Woolbard. That went quite well, honestly, and first example of out of bounds, which you're going to see 2 more examples later on. So we're going to make our way to our Mongoose, which is still with us through all these street sections. And we're still carrying over our weapons, including our grenades, which we're going to take all the way through to Data Hive, which is going to be quite valuable. Just going to watch my driving. So we're going to drive past the Lone Hunter, who spawned on the other side of the map, and make our way through the streets to the next mission, which will be NMPD. So here we're going to be playing as Romeo, who's sort of the precision weapons expert. So he wields a sniper, which we're going to take through the first parts of these level through to the end fight. So in this case, this level we've got a couple minutes of movement, running through a bunch of enemies trying to stay alive, and then we've got a pretty exciting end fight where we get lots of missile pods, Spartan lasers, rockets to take out Banshees and Phantoms. So looking for a checkpoint here, and we're going to start off by taking out this Grunt and Brute.
That did it. Shoot and scoot.
Keep an eye on the Shade turret.
Swapping back.
There's going to be a Grunt turret, and then we're going to draw out some enemies and let's try and run past them without dying. So take out as many of these carbine jackals as possible. And then we're drawing the enemies out behind us, but before they can come up behind us, Make our way
Gunny,
up
on the
behind.
rooftop, northeast of your location. Stay put, Dutch.
Grab some resources in this room
Grab some ammo, Romeo.
and get ready for the next section here. So the automatic here is actually silenced, and we're going to use that fact to try and catch these jackals off guard. So you can see I got a couple shots off there before they actually were alerted. Whereas if you use a sniper, they'll actually be alerted straight away. So just going to do a little clear here, clear some grunts, focus on this jackal sniper. That one's all good. Let's focus on these brutes. Spawn kill with a spike grenade.
I stuck with
And there's a chieftain there with a plasma turret, which we managed to avoid, which is excellent. Looking for a checkpoint. Right. Grab this fuel rod for later. We're going to give to our teammates. And we're going to make our way through the bridge. So normally here there's going to be some banshees that are going to come and fly past and sway the bridge. But if you just sort of lift lazily to the left, you can avoid the banshee spawn and keep the bridge still, which I actually failed to do. So just got to be careful I don't fall off the bridge here. It's a bit challenging to stay left while not falling off the map. So once nearly all of these enemies are dead, the end fight will start. And we talked a bit before about the ODST soundtrack, and this level's got one of those banging soundtracks, which we're going to get a chance to listen to. Just looking for the last enemies.
Bird's wasted. Lost the pilot on impact. The rest of us are okay.
That's...
Not for long. Phantom's inbound.
Oh, I got no one.
Why am I not surprised? Pick a turret, Romeo. Conserve your ammo.
So just going to be focusing on doing this end fight while jamming out to the music. So enjoy the music and enjoy the combat.
Entry's coming down. Get clear.
So looking to spawn kill this last phantom here, but not too quickly because we can soft lock the game. So it should be spawning any moment now. And that is the last of them. So that's NMP done, and a pretty awesome wave fight. Complete. Probably one of the best tracks in the game. Arguably one of the best tracks in the franchise. So a couple more Mombasa Street sections. We got the last flashback mission. So we're going to be playing as Buck again on Kikawani Station, and we're going to be seeing second example of out of bounds in this game. Again, utilizing the Banshee. So just going to be snaking through the streets. Okay, we got the spawns here, so we're just going to be careful as we hit this button. Which I have not been careful. Okay, managed to avoid those enemies. Snake our way through the streets with the goose. And make our way to Kikawani Station. So here we're going to be trying to rush towards a Banshee and get ready to go out of bounds by riding on top of a Phantom. So we're going to use the Phantom to sort of push ourselves out of bounds. And then once we're out of bounds, we're going to make our way through the level, hitting triggers along the way that are required to complete the level. And then requires going back in bounds. So we're going to use a similar trick once again to push ourselves out of bounds using another Phantom. So we're going to go out of bounds twice. And killing those enemies is going to start this Phantom's departure. But before it departs, we're going to try and get a checkpoint here. Using a sideways Banshee flip to go a bit faster than flying in a straight line. So just going to time this right.
What do you see, Gunny?
A whole lot of Covenant.
So we are now pushed through, and we are now out of bounds out of the map after riding that Phantom through an invisible ceiling. And so we're going to make our way to the other side of this wall here, where we're going to hit a couple triggers and a load. So hit this trigger here. It's going to spawn in this Phantom, which we're actually going to use this specific Phantom to fly out of bounds again.
Flight controls read green across the board. Well, it's purple. But she's good to go.
So got to set the Phantom on its path by destroying the squid house. Set off this checkpoint. It's going to make this Phantom fly off. And just missed my ride, so we'll try once again.
On my way.
So that's almost pushed us out through the map.
On my way.
Try once again. And we've just broken through the invisible ceiling again. And now we're going to make our way to the last section. So you're going to see that this last part of the map is actually not loaded in. So we're just going to veer slightly to the right to hit the load. And we've loaded the next part of the map. Go down, hit a couple triggers. So you can see there's no enemies in front of me. But once we hit this next trigger here, spawned in some enemies. And we're going to make our way to the last section.
Head into the tunnel before another one shows up.
Where we need to blow up some squid houses, which is one of those things I blew up before. But instead of shooting them directly, we're going to ricochet our shots off this wall to blow up the squid house at the level. So that's a pretty neat lineup that saves a total of 1 second. So we're just going to be making our way through to the last two levels, and they are pretty long levels. They are sort of the two longest levels in the run. So the big heavy hitting levels, including the last level, Coastal Highway, which will have our third and last out of bounds trick, which is quite tricky, and quite challenging, but can save a lot of time. So as we get started on Data Hive, I might just throw over to our host for any messages they might have before we go into our last two levels of the run.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that. We have had a few more donations come in during that time. We've had $15 from Insane Ability. Says good luck, and Frick Cancer. I'm going to have to ask you to keep the language to a minimum in future, though. $20 from Endure, says good luck, Wingman. $10 from Caitlin HR, says yo, Wingman, good luck. And $25 from the Grave. Good luck and have fun, streamer. Also, did someone say HaloRuns.com?
I think I did hear that someone said HaloRuns.com. So thank you all the Halo Runs community members who have donated to support the stream and supported me along the way through my journey through Halo Speedruns. The community is quite active and quite diverse. And is present in many speedrunning events. So we actually had 2 different Halo games represented at ESA this year. There was a Reach Legendary race, and as well as Halo Infinite Easy was run at ESA. At GDQ we had Halo 4 Legendary as well as Halo Reach Co-op, 4-player co-op. And then I am here today running ODST at ASM. So a lot of awesome Halo speedrunning activity at events this past month, and including a community event which is coming up this Saturday. So on your second screen while you're watching ASM, you can load up Halo races and see the Halo Runs community easy relay race. So that's 4 teams, one runner for every game, competing in a relay race format. Which will end up being sort of a full franchise run for about 10 to 12 hours or so on the Halo Master stream. So that's 4 teams of about 8 or 9 runners. I forget exactly how many it is. So it's quite a big and active community, and they do that relay race twice a year, once on the easy difficulty and once on legendary difficulty. So this weekend is the easy relay race. So good luck to all the community members running in that relay race this year. So HaloRuns.com is where all our leaderboards are, and there's also a link to the community Discord on that site, where there's lots of handy resources and friendly faces ready to help you start your journey in Halo Speedrun. So Data Hive is a sort of fully inbound mission with lots of enemies to deal with on legendary difficulty. So you're just going to be using new combo and grenades as best as possible to deal with these enemies, while trying to preserve our plasma nades for Coastal Highway. So that will become relevant later. So looking for this brute here. He doesn't have a brute shot, so I'm pretty happy. Looking for another brute here who does have a brute shot. We managed to take him out pretty okay. So we've got some brutes here which we're going to try and spawn kill. And once we killed this guy, these guys will push up. Excellent, and we're just going to walk to the left a bit here after I grab this plasma pistol, and we're going to skip some enemy spawns. There's actually 4 brutes that spawn here, but we only spawned 1. Which is just a handy little trick, just to walk slightly to the left and you can skip some enemy spawns. So we're just going to wait for this cop to catch up. And normally if you collect all the audio logs on the streets, this guy will follow you down. But in this case, we haven't got all the logs, so we're going to be doing this next section all by ourselves, with some additional drone spawns here.
Coming out of the damn fence! Get back! No!
Oopsie daisy. I lost orientation of where my...
Oh no! They're up here too! Coming out of the damn fence! Get back! No!
Health pack was. Alright.
Proceed with caution.
It's a bit unfortunate my grenade got blown apart.
Oh no! They're up here too! Coming out of the damn fence! Get back! No!
So just dealing with a challenging combat section here. Handy checkpoints.
Damn you, God!
Enemies are doing some quite weird things, but we are slowly making our way through. A few more enemies to go through, 4 more brutes, 3 more brutes now, including a captain brute and a chieftain brute. Oopsie daisy. That was not a high skill move.
This is for you.
Line doesn't pay. Proceed with caution.
Don't let him get away. Take this with you.
Just going back for my carbine, and we should be all good to progress through here. Actually, just going to go back for a pleasant pistol as well. Okay. That's that challenging section dealt with, and gonna make our way through to the next section here, where we're going to encounter another member of the Alpha 9 squad, which is Dare, Veronica Dare. So once we save Dare from these drones, jackals and brute, we then get to have her as a bit of a teammate throughout the rest of this level. Just looking for this brute who's hiding from me. So unfortunately the headshot hitbox on these drones is quite tough, but a left hook always does the trick. So halfway through Data Hive now, a few more combat sections to go, as well as a few cool tricks to skip some spawns and get us through to the end of Data Hive onto Coastal.
I got your back, trooper. Keep moving.
So towards the end of this level, we're going to be actually saving an engineer, which is one of those enemies that we saw before, providing shields to the enemy Covenant. And that engineer is sort of one of the secret things that, secret part of our mission, that the only troopers were sent here to help capture. So just 4 more drones to deal with. I'm just going to wait for some stamina. We're going to peek and make our way through. So one of the things that's been helping us along the way has been the Superintendent AI that's been running the city. And as we hear about in the audio log story, is there's a specific subroutine called Virgil, who is in specifically being the subroutine that's been helping us out. And one of the Covenant engineers finds a way to actually integrate with that Covenant with the AI, and actually integrates it with its body. So, but before that, I'm just going to be doing a cool launch using this barricade. Make our way up. I'm actually going to do this with a spike grenade. Make our way up. Which is a cool launch, being able to use those barricades for a boost. Partly able to do that because the ODSTs are pretty light. So I chose to use a spike grenade for that launch there rather than the plasma grenade because I want to save some plasma grenades for Coastal Highway, where we're going to be doing some cool launches. So this engineer integrates with the AI subroutine Virgil, and that's where the engineer sort of gets its name throughout this game. But that's the name of the subroutine, not the actual name of the engineer. So a quiz question for everyone is, what is the name of the engineer? So I'll give you some time to think about that, and I'll give the answer to that question a bit later on. Right now, I'm going to be looking to take out these enemies. I'm looking for this chieftain.
Not bad. You do know your stuff.
Get there stuck here just to open the door a bit sooner. And we're going to be using the gravity hammer, which is a common weapon for movement speed tech in Halo 3. And we get to see it a little bit of use in ODST here. So just going to get our teammates stuck using the hammer. And this allows them to teleport later on to avoid softlock. But because they teleport, it's actually faster than waiting for them to walk. After we do this box launch here. So we're going to make our way to Buck before these phantoms drop off these troops. And the game thinks that all the enemies are dead because there's no enemies on the map, when really we just got there before they all spawned. And the door opens. Just deal with some of these drones so Buck doesn't get distracted.
Feel free to fill me in whenever.
Not now, Buck.
And just going to be setting up this coil for a bit of a launch and make our way into Coastal Highway. So because we hopefully got our teammates stuck, the game thinks that our teammates are too far behind us to bother waiting for them. So it's just going to teleport them to us.
Don't worry. We
which
have
in
a key.
combination with that little box launch helps us save time. So the question I asked was, what is the name of the engineer? So that's this engineer here. So we can see it's got the call sign Virgil, which is the name of the subroutine. But the actual name of the engineer is quick to adjust. So the engineers are named based off sort of their behaviors. And their behavior is based off how they float and move around.
You haven't killed any of them, have you?
No.
So this one is called Quick to Adjust because it's quickly to adjust its buoyancy and its movement around. Using that coil just to launch a bit down the hallway, and we're going to be carrying these weapons over into Coastal along with our plasma grenades. Doing a little trick here, just turn to our teammates and then turn forwards to teleport them forward into the end trigger. Alright, so we're on to the last level of the game, which is a tough level and the longest level, individual level in the Halo franchise. So Notorious one being so long and also having such a complicated trick.
Agreed. I'll stay with the asset.
So first of all, we're just going to be making our way through this combat section here. Looking to have 3 grenades, and 3 plasma grenades and 3 frag grenades. Looking for that checkpoint. Hopefully we get all 3 grunts. And just going to be keeping an eye on a Captain Brute that might be chasing us. So we make our way through. And we're looking pretty safe here. So again, just like before, we're going to turn towards our teammates and we're going to teleport them forward and get them to our next trigger sooner. So just turn around here and they teleport forward. Now Virgil's going to help open up a door here.
This way. Should be an elevator right through here.
Cooper, protect the engineer.
Little love tap just to get Virgil to the door quicker.
We'll need the alien to power on
And we're going to get through the mid-level cutscene for this level. And then we're going to jump in a very special Warthog. So this Warthog actually features within the cutscene.
All right, shotgun.
And because of that, I believe there's a reason why it is invincible. So this Warthog cannot be blown up. And we're going to abuse that fact to launch it out of bounds.
A little crowded in here.
So first, just got to get to this end of the first highway section.
Hey, watch me put that.
Just going to get it set up here.
Gotta be kidding me.
I'm
Get
doing the
this
best
hog
I
out of the
can.
way.
Just stay out of our way.
Clear out some of these grunts. Mainly that fuel rod grunt. Alrighty, that was a bit
Covenant
scary.
has to shut these doors. Give the engineer a second to override the lock. That's it. We're moving on.
And just making sure there's no more grunts that are going to interfere in this next section. Cheeky little double kill. And we're just going to set up a launch for this hog here. So unfortunately that launch wasn't quite good enough. Went slightly to the left and bumped the building.
Take the wheel, rookie.
So we're just going to get
All
set
right,
up again.
shotgun. These shoes are killing.
Get this launch another go.
Hey, Captain. Pickling.
So this mission's a bit of an escort mission. You're supposed to protect Dare along the way. And oop, that's not very good. That fuel rod managed to take out.
Take the wheel, rookie. All right, shotgun.
Just need to get Buck out of this seat.
Yeah, you're a better shot.
So normally we're supposed to protect Dare, who is in a Oliphant or a garbage truck with the engineer.
Pickling.
And while she has the engineer's shields to keep her alive, the engineer alive, she can die to the enemies, particularly on legendary difficulty. So normally you're going along the highway, protecting them, waiting for them to drive down the highway in their very slow garbage truck.
The best I can.
But instead
Just
we're
stay
going
out
to
of
go
our
out of
way.
bounds, and we're going to be progressing the mission by hitting triggers while out of bounds.
Covenant must have shut these doors.
Keeping an eye
Give the
out for the
engineer a
fuel
second
rod
to override the
grunts.
lock. That's it. We're moving on.
Get up, set up for this launch again. Okay, so that hog is now stuck out of bounds. So just going to collect some plasma grenades, and we've got to do a second launch here to get our second hog out of bounds. So we have to get this first hog sort of past the soft barrier, which is roughly around where it is. And then we've got to get ourselves through the soft barrier using this warthog. So just going to get this hog set up, and then we're going to get a checkpoint by hitting the trigger at this door. And then we're going to try and get out of bounds in as few launches as possible. So these two launches are pretty notorious for being relatively challenging, and some of the run killers or major run killers in this game. So just delaying a checkpoint slightly, and we'll see how this setup is in terms of getting out of bounds. It's looking okay. We can work with this. So this might take a few attempts, but that's why we got this checkpoint. Try and make it as easy as possible.
Whoa! What just happened?
So we're going to watch out for a death plane, which is just below us. So we can't go too low, because we hit a death plane.
Straight ahead, hostile.
So it's a bit of a precise trick, with a little bit of randomness.
I think the
And
engineer found a
so
way
far
to
so
extend
good.
his
So we're going to
shield.
push up against
Send
this soft
current to
barrier,
the outer plating.
get out of bounds,
I don't know how
but we just
strong
need
the
to
shields are.
rectify
Stay
this
close.
hog first,
Don't worry.
and get it upright, and we're now out of bounds with this invincible warthog. So we're going to be driving out on top of the map here, hitting a bunch of triggers and trying to go as fast as possible, because the faster we hit the triggers, the faster we can teleport Dare out of danger. And there is a real chance that she dies while she's inbound, because she's there driving through all the enemies, while we are pretty much safe out here out of bounds. There are a few deadly sections which we're going to try and survive. But once we go through here, we're going to have first checkpoint out of bounds. And we now got a long stretch. So I said before, this is an escort mission, so normally you're waiting for Dare to progress down the highway. But we're going to effectively drive the whole highway while out of bounds without having to wait for her. And you'll see how long this mission takes, and you can imagine how long it would take if you had to protect Dare along the way. So we've got a few loads and triggers to hit. So there's a load that we've got to hit.
Shields are back to full power. Here we go.
Get back in our Warthog, and we're going to hit a trigger driving through this door. On top of this doorway. And you're going to hear lots of times about how Dare's going and how her shields are, and it's always a bit scary hearing how low they get. But she should be good as long as we go pretty swiftly through these triggers.
The captain's in trouble.
So each trigger is ever so slightly different. So this one's we can't drive through. We're going to actually get out of our Warthog,
Shields are fully charged.
step into this spot here to hit the trigger, and we're going to get back into our Warthog. So there's about 12 doors that we're going to hit out of bounds, and each one is slightly different. So we're just going to try and stay focused and keep track of which door we're up to and how we're going to hit the trigger. So if I hit the trigger wrong, I actually get sucked
Shields
back
falling.
inbounds.
Take out those Covenant.
So I get teleported back inbounds without my Warthog, with no way of
Good,
getting back
Trooper.
out of bounds.
Thanks for the help.
So got to hit them correctly so to avoid that. So this one we can drive through the middle, provided we just stay slightly to the left.
The captain's in trouble.
And this next door, we're going to just encounter a couple Banshees, which hopefully aren't going to shoot us too much. It was really good that I got out
My
of
shields
bounds
can't take much more
while
of this.
preserving a lot of my health. As you can see, I'm at full health, because while out of bounds, there's no health packs, because the devs didn't put any health packs out of bounds. So we're going to try and hopefully keep our health for as long as possible. So take a tight corner here to try and avoid these Banshees. There's going to be one more Banshee.
We're good, Trooper.
No, all good.
Thanks
This
for the
Banshee
help.
doesn't spawn. And another checkpoint, what we like to see. Keep driving our way to the next door. So we're almost halfway through this out of bounds driving section. Still got a bit more to go. We're going to be driving all that way in the distance plus some. Make our way to the next trigger. This one we can drive through. It's a little bit precise. So we'll just try and be careful with this one. Make sure we hug the wall. And that hit the trigger. And now we want to be as quickly as possible we want to get to the next trigger, so that we can get a really good checkpoint, just in case we mess this up.
My shields can't take much more of this.
So there's a couple ways to do this trigger. You can hit the load first and then the trigger, but that's pretty scary and pretty dangerous both for us and for Dare. So I'm going to drive straight through to the trigger,
We need the extra
and that's a really
firepower.
good checkpoint just before the dangerous section. I just got to remember to come back for the load. So just going to park up here,
My shields can't take much more of this.
sit in this corner, wait for a checkpoint.
There's the tank. Let's take it.
There's our checkpoint.
Heads up, rookie.
Just going to watch out for these Banshees.
Captain's right,
And
Trooper.
we're going to make our way
Get
back to
tank.
that load that I missed. Otherwise we won't be able to complete the level. So just going to be parking our hog
We're
up
good,
against this
Trooper.
wall.
Thanks for the help.
Wait for these Banshees to ignore us. And it's relatively safe walking in front of these Banshees. They tend to miss you when you're not in the hog. So you'll see these guys just tend to not actually hit you. It's a bit strange. But I'm just going to wait till they completely de-aggro before I get back in this hog. And then we're going to make our way through to the next trigger. So the semi-open world nature of this game as we're roaming through the Mombasa streets, it really tries to interconnect all the different landmarks throughout the game. So we're actually driving on top of the Uplift Reserve. It's not loaded in now. We're just driving on an out of bounds unloaded section. But this is actually the Uplift Reserve where Dutch was originally trying to escape the Covenant through.
Size of that thing.
So it's an interconnected world that we actually drive over. So if you see to the left over there, that's the bridge that we're driving on with the Ghost, that we could see the space elevator collapse. That's a space elevator off to the right of our screen. So making our way through, we hit a trigger back there as we went down the side of the dome. Gonna go off this ledge here and try and land wheels down. And we're gonna hit another trigger, and then again we want to be as quick as possible for these next few triggers to try and teleport Dare out of danger. There's a high chance that she dies here, but with a few checkpoint restarts, we should be good to get through. So looking for a checkpoint here, and then as quickly as we can, we want to get to the next trigger, and we'll see if Dare survives. So just one final quiz question to before we get towards the end of the run. So the Covenant, they often refer to the Master Chief as the Demon, but they actually have a name or a phrase they use for the ODSTs themselves. So the Covenant call Master Chief the Demon, but what do they call the imps? Not the imps, the ODSTs. I in fact just gave away the answer. That's alright, we got a mission failure there because Dare died to the enemies. We'll see if we can get through this checkpoint, otherwise we might have to pull out a bit of trickery to get through. So we'll just try 2 more times to get through off this checkpoint.
My shields can't take much more of this. Shield is down. Give us some cover while they recharge.
They got the op.
So it's not looking good. So I reckon actually I'm just going to go out here. And I'm going to do what's called a double revert. So this game knows it can sometimes give you bad checkpoints. So if you die 5 times real fast, you actually revert back 2 checkpoints. So after this death here, we're back here at this checkpoint, and we can just try and get Dare to survive again, and try and get a better checkpoint. Just one of the challenges of running this game on Legendary. So yes, the Covenant call the ODST the imps, which I think is just a good sign of respect for the ODST troopers. So we're not just any sort of Marine, we are a sort of elevated, unaugmented human Marine that is quite specialized and
my shields can't take much more of this.
And skillful. And the Covenant sort of respect that by giving them a specific name.
Give us some cover while they recharge.
So this time we got through unscathed, and we get to drop back into the highway now. So as we can see, just a bit of an unlucky checkpoint. Wheels down back onto the highway, and we're going to get ourselves into the end fight. Hopefully being able to bring this Warthog with us. Just with a cheeky rocket shot to flip it over this barricade. And we're going to take out 2 grunts, hit the trigger, and that's going to start the last wave fight for this game. So 2 grunts are dead, and we're going to be collecting some resources, some health packs, some ammo, and getting ready for the last 3 waves to clear. So as we get to the end of the run, I just want to say thanks to ASM for accepting this run into the event. It's been a lot of fun, and it's great to see all the support coming in for this event and seeing everyone so excited and happy. I guess to just enjoy gaming and speedrunning together, as well as to see all the donations come in to a great cause. So thank you to everyone that's supported the event, helped run the event, volunteered, donated, all of that. It's all for a great cause. So checkpoint here, pretty relevant checkpoint, as we're going to be trying to win a 1v1 with a fuel rod Captain Brute. So just going to start off by clearing out some of these enemies quickly, or early. Spawn, kill some enemies with his plasma grenade. We won the 1v1. Clear out some enemies here, and this will be the end of the first of 3 waves. Once we kill this last grunt somewhere. I'm blind. Where is it? going to head back to our teammates. So we can see here I got 5 rockets ready to reload, and none in the chamber. But if I give this rockets a buck, he's going to reload the rockets for us, so not actually use any ammo. So this is a nifty little trick using a few of the Halo games. Then going to be trying to spawn kill some jackals here, but not too many, because you can soft lock if you kill too many too quickly. And I want Des Automag to help us kill some carbine jackals, some shield jackals, and some beam rifle jackals. So you notice both myself and my teammates have got a shield, and that's the engineer providing us with some additional shielding, which helps us take care of these last couple rounds of enemies.
Concentrate fire!
So it looks like we got all of the jackals.
Company.
We're going to take out these hunters. That's good. And we're just going to get set up for the last wave before the end of the run. So if Dead wants to stop running away from me, I can give her some rockets, which she's going to reload for me.
What do you need?
And now I've got 4 rockets, which should be plenty for this last section. Looking for a beam rifle, which there should be a few lying around.
Didn't even break his foot.
And this Phantom's going to drop off the last troops before we get to the end of the run. So I'm just going to take out these turret grunts, because they can be quite deadly. Take out this Phantom turret. And then we're just going to be looking to spawn kill some enemies. And then get through to our escape vehicle, being a hijacked Phantom.
Wraiths, on the highway.
That's not good.
Back smack the Chieftain. Looking for 2 more brutes here. Last brute. Did we get him? Oh, we got him. Nice. So we're going to see our teammates spawn in, and that's 40 seconds before the, once that Phantom deloads, teammates spawn in. 40 seconds until the end of the run. So they're just going to take out these 2 Wraiths for us, and come over and pick us up. See if we can help them out with some cheap grenades.
Light him up, boys!
Oh yeah, managed to get one of them.
I got it. We're steady.
Replacements.
So time's coming up on the black screen. I believe it's a black screen. That will happen in about 7 seconds or so. 5 seconds.
Go, rookie. Head for...
And that's it, time. So that's, yeah, Halo 3 ODST on the Legendary difficulty. Pretty challenging run. There's definitely some tough sections in there. It was a bit of a surprise to see which difficulty I was playing this playing today. So thanks to everyone that donated for the incentive. I'll be having more cracks at speedrunning this game, so feel free to drop by my stream. You can check me out on Twitch or YouTube, and we'll be giving more attempts at speedrunning this game. Thanks again to ASM for having me, and good luck to the rest of the runners for this event.
It won't bite, and unlike you,
Thank you.
it knows what to tell those cruisers to keep them off our tail.
Thank you so much, Wingman. That was a fantastic run, and thanks to everyone in the chat for being so hyped and so supportive. We're going to continue on with the FPS gaming for the next run. We've got Balaki B running Rage. Might have a little bit of a setup break before that, just to get back on schedule, but we will see you shortly. And that's also the end of my time with you tonight, so I will pass on to our next host. Thank you again.
All right, welcome everyone. I am Megaslayer321A. I will be your host for the upcoming run of Rage Any% by Bellica B. Take it away.